YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Crypto J coming at you guys with yet another J Talks Crypto. If you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification. I do my best each and every day to give you guys the top picks in cryptocurrency. And guys, we're on a mission to hit 100,000 subscribers. I can't do it without you guys. We're going to talk about some Toshi Coin today. We got to talk about the market today. Market is absolutely just doing nasty things today, guys. But can we make any kind of a recovery? We're going to talk about it. Before we get into the video too, I got to let you guys know that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just a YouTuber on YouTube, and you should never listen to people on YouTube when it comes to buying things, right? I'm not trying to give you guys financial advice. Just trying to educate you guys on the trend, because the trend is your friend, buddy. But as you guys can see, the total market cap coming in at a 3.4, fear greed index coming in at a 65, and Bitcoin coming in at a 1073 now, starting to possibly break down. And this is a little bit concerning in the short term if you're over leveraged. But in the long term, I think that this is very good and very necessary. And I'm going to explain to you guys why in this video today. So as you guys can see, Bitcoin sentiment right now coming in at 82% and bullish, and then 18% of people are not feeling so good about the market. Oh, and by the way, like, sorry for I've been uploading and deleting videos. I've been having like issues with recording, but getting it together here. A lot of people talking about the amount of holders, bullish, bearish. Everybody's spamming stuff in here now. It's not even quality in there anymore. Like to hear some sentiment on Bitcoin, but I mean, let's just look at the market sentiment based off of the chart, right? So you guys could see we're still on an uptrend on the daily, but we are starting to look a little bit funky right now. Let's actually pull up some of these indicators, right? See where we're at and what is going on. These are the indicators that I use. You can use whatever indicators you want, or you use no indicators. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes I don't use indicators, but I do think that the indicators are very telling right now, especially looking at this one-day chart. As you guys could see, we're starting to break below this Bollinger Band right here, this moving average. And you guys can see that this could mean that we might see another drop in our RSI. We're just not getting a lot of volume coming in on Bitcoin. You could see we had a lot of volume over here and just not really a lot of volume today. It's looking like a possible retest of this lower zone here, this 105 at least. And then possibly even as low as I told you guys, 100K is what I was saying not too long ago. But again, even if we drop down and touch 100K, does that mean the end of the world? No, it doesn't mean the end of the world. I think that we would still be, correlating. We would still be flowing pretty nicely, right? We're still inside this Keltner channel. We're just at a lower range. I mean, this thing has done this before, right? Have we shot up here and then retested this lower bottom range of this Keltner channel? Have we ever done that before? I mean, it looks like it does it often, right? Sometimes when we're in uptrend, this thing has retests of that bottom Keltner channel. It's just what happens. It could mean, again, some volatility in the market. In my opinion, that is necessary, guys. If you want to have a good long cycle, if you want things to have significant upside and to the longer term, then we need to see correction. We need to see Bitcoin establishing new levels of support so that, when it does go up and down, it doesn't have so much volatility, right? So that's what support is for. So again, you guys can see this is our fear greed index, and we've been talking about this in every single video that I've made. We've been talking about this fear greed index, right? You guys could see we already been shooting up into this green, and we were really going to get into the extreme greed, which in my opinion, that's too early. We're too early to be in this extreme greedy state, because you guys could see every time we touch this extreme greed state, it's seen a big drop down right after that. It's like kind of been a top or a temporary top. We've really, and that's another thing. People have been asking me, oh, how long have we been in this bull trend? This bull trend has been since 2023. So, 2023. So a lot of people getting in this year, a lot of people getting in at the tail end of last year, and even the beginning of last year. Just understand that this market cycle began in 2023. I was here talking about it. We were talking about the bottom. I pretty much called the bottom on this channel. For those of you guys who weren't here, weren't following me at that time, but we pretty much called the bottom at 15K on the channel. And then ever since then, Bitcoin has just exploded, exceeded expectations, in my opinion, actually. Nobody would have ever predicted, honestly, that Bitcoin would have hit 100K by, what was it? It hit 100K in like, then in November or something ridiculous like that, like, or December or something, we were hitting like already 100K, which is totally crazy. That's totally crazy because Bitcoin was at 66,000. Like, and then Trump took office and things just absolutely took off. Since then, we've had a lot of FUD sandwiches. Seems like every week we have some kind of FUD sandwich in the news and just causing chaos. But again, guys, is this anything out of the normal? No, it's not anything out of the normal. This market does this, right? Especially if you just look at our long-term charts, you could kind of see when these guys are accumulating, right? Like, look, we're in the extreme greed here, then we drop down into this yellow. It's been out a crazy time to be accumulating things, and then, things start shooting up, get into this extreme greed state again. It lasts from like February to like April, really, and then seeing a big drop down, right? And from April all the way to August, guys, April to August was really this thing dropping low. And when we started hitting this orange, I'm like, guys, this is a accumulation zone. This is what I feel like would be an accumulation zone, in my opinion. Again, I'm not telling you what to do or go out and buy stuff. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't be over leveraging crypto anyway. You should only be spending money that you could afford losing. But in my opinion, the times to be greedy is really when nobody else wants to be, when everybody else is freaking out. Back in March when the fear index was at a 15 and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been waiting for. We're in the extreme fear. Like, do I think that we're going to drop down and touch extreme fear levels again? I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility, but at the same time, there's also a possibility that maybe we do something similar to this, where we touch back to this orange, right? We create this little McDonald's M, touch back to this orange. And that's what I told you guys the other day too. Look, we got this same McDonald's M that formed right here. It formed right here, right? We've seen this correction happen. It formed right here also, right? That little McDonald's M, we'd say, I'm not loving it. That's what I always say. But as you guys could see, that could be what's playing out on this fear greed index. And in my opinion, it's necessary. It is necessary for us to, have a good, healthy, longer cycle and this go into a possible super cycle. And it's not out of the normal. In my opinion, this is not the end of the cycle. There's a chance it's the end of the cycle because, again, we've seen a double top happen in the past. And again, I'm going to tell you guys both ways so that you can make your own decision. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you making your own decision, doing your own research, not listening to some guy for YouTube, right? But look, this pattern right here, this double top, you see how we touch top? This could be a similar situation, right? It could mark the end of the cycle. That's what people think, right? But at the same time, again, when I zoom out logarithmic, I go by logarithmic chart. It helps me at times. I mean, I go by both, right? Because this regular chart right here, this is telling me, right, possible cup and handle, it's telling me that this could be a big breakout too, right? If we break out of this could have some significant upside. We've seen it happen right here. We created this flagpole, created this bull flag, and then it shot up, right? Similar type of thing, right? We dropped down here, and again, look at that McDonald's M creating that correction, right? We drop down here, and then, again, we create this wedge, and Bitcoin just goes exploding up. But again, we seen a top, right? Every time we've seen a top, again, it's been a blow off top. Right here, we have a blow off top, right? You could see we have it's like a boom. It's like a firework finale, right? Of all the greed, but you're not going to feel it because, again, it's going to last for months, this euphoria and stuff like that. It just kind of does, but again, after laughter comes pain. That's what I always say. Because a lot of these guys think that the euphoria is going to go on forever. Some people start saying crazy stuff like Bitcoin's going to be the new dollar. Like, Bitcoin is great. It has its place, its value, but at the same time, like, it's not going to be the next dollar. I don't know that that's going to happen at least in our lifetime. Who knows? I mean, maybe one day the dollar will not be the currency, but I'm pretty sure that we would go to some extreme length to make sure that that does not happen. But I'm just saying, I would, you're this is not, crypto is highly volatile. That's what I'm saying, right? 3.4 trillion market cap. This thing's going to go up and down. I'm long on Bitcoin. I do think that it's going to melt faces. I am somebody that believes that Bitcoin will go over $1 million one day. I've been saying that on the channel, even when Bitcoin was at a $3,000, right? Even when it was corrected all the way down to $15,000, I was still saying that this is going to hit $1 million one day. And maybe it's going to hit $1 million faster than we think, because again, we've already ran from 15K all the way up to over 100K now. And if we saw some correction, I would be honestly thinking that this is normal. I would be thinking that this is good. I would love to see Bitcoin correct down significantly, honestly, guys. I really would love to see a significant correction on this thing. Maybe down to like 85K would be awesome. That would be great for me. I would love that to be like this 94 range. If we broke down off all this, and we do have support, right? But if we broke down under all this, I would not be upset at all. I would look at this as a great opportunity to be in cryptocurrency. And again, will that happen? It's a possibility, right? Maybe June we have a red month, right? Maybe June will be bearish, and then maybe July or again, we went all the way from April, and then we didn't see the market start increasing until August last time. So, I mean, that's a good amount of time right there. And we started seeing our correction this time in like February, like late February or something like that. And then now, we had a big run up since then. We created some new all-time highs not even that long ago, and we're still in an uptrend. So, it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all bearish bad, but again, even on, some of these more smaller time intervals, we're still holding, right? The only thing I'm a little bit concerned, look, we're still on an uptrend on the 1 month, barely holding on to it, barely holding on. If we drop down any lower, we will have broken this trend in my opinion, but we're pretty much at that point right now. But as you guys could see, this is creating a rising wedge right here. Again, dropping down, shoulder, head, shoulder here. If we break below this neckline, it is going to probably indicate a sell, right? In my opinion, just based off of some of these indicators. And we're going to get to Toshi, guys. I know I'm really breaking down Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is really at a key level today because today is Thursday and we're actually seeing the market starting to correct today. And so again, what usually happens into the weekend, right? Usually in the weekend, we start seeing some red. But again, it's only 8:40 in the morning on the west side. So there's still time in this daily candle to go either way, right? We have not confirmed any negativity. We do have an announcement today also. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, yeah, Bitcoin coming in on some key ranges and possibly retesting here, or even possibly retesting some of these lower levels here. But interesting. Bitcoin 107. I wonder if we're going to watch it come down to 106. Let's talk about some Toshi, right? So you guys could see Toshi Coin also down with the rest of the market today, right? Just down 5% though, not too bad. But also, again, with Bitcoin looking as bad as it does, Toshi Coin is printing a little bit concerning patterns right now. Or, I mean, I'm not really concerned because I'm looking for this at the cheapest price possible. I already told you guys that. I do think that Bitcoin cycle's not over, and I do think that we will still probably have a meme coin cycle. I just think that maybe it's going to be delayed a little bit, possibly. But I do think that it's on the way. And again, when there's a delay, I'm not upset. I'm really just looking for better positions. Again, and all this stuff, I'm not just saying that. I'm really looking for that because, again, I'm long on cryptocurrency. But, I'm not telling you to buy this stuff. You shouldn't be buying things that you hear about on the internet anyway. You should be doing your research, right? But look at Toshi, right? Creating this shoulder, head, shoulder as well. And also sitting at the neckline right now. Basically looking at Bitcoin probably like, what you gonna do, buddy? We bumping out of this, or are we gonna dump down, right? This could also be some kind of wedge. We could really turn around here, and this could be a giant bull flag that's forming. There's still bullish patterns, just like Bitcoin is flashing bullish patterns. That kind of, in my opinion, that's a good indicator. If you're long on Bitcoin, if you're long on this space, if you're bullish on this, and you have conviction and you feel like this is going to be something one day, then you should be actually really happy when your coin is making bullish looking patterns during a Bitcoin correction. That's what I always say on my channel. I say, I'm looking for projects that show volume on these Bitcoin dips. And again, Bitcoin might start dipping, and I'm paying attention to all these coins that are holding their value and that are the communities are staying active and things like that. So again, look, shoulder, head, shoulder, and we're retesting a neckline right now. This is really key sport, and we got to get out of this zone, guys, because today again is Thursday, and then tomorrow's Friday. We have our market closed on Friday, right? And then the weekend. What do we usually see on the weekend, right? Sell off. So just paying attention to this stuff again, guys. Not financial advice, just my opinions. You guys sometimes like to hear my opinion. But it's just an opinion, guys. Everybody has their own opinion. You should have your own opinion, and you should be doing your own research on all this stuff. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, just the homie Crypto J, and I'll catch you guys next video. Peace.